Let's see, in the top right side, we have ourselves a red Protoss player representing Team Liquid. He is Mana. His opponent in the blue, representing Shopify Rebellion, the blue Terran player, BYUN. And so we start the first game of tonight. BYUN and Mana, of course, in the Home Story Cup. Barracks over here. And a refinery. Hopefully start for BYUN. Regular things. Did not manage to catch Home Story Cup at all, actually. It kind of caught me by surprise as well. It was like, oh wait, that was already this weekend? Wait, what? Guess it's over now. But yeah, you know what? That just makes doing the VOD replays a lot more fun overall, you know? Not quite sure what's going to happen. What kind of weird stuff we're going to see from these players. Home Story Cup, this serious tournament, right? A tournament that a lot of these players, they do definitely want to win. Especially after we already had Katowice not so long ago. Of course, we might be able to unwind for a little while. Try to just use our best strategies with all this stuff before we come up with the next, the good thing for in the future. Mana. What's Mana doing over here? That's interesting. Alright. Gonna proxy down the second pylon on the other side of the map. Most likely a Stargate. BYUN, the infamous, you know what? I am just not gonna scouter. Does decide to send his first Marine out, actually. Looks around slightly. I think he's just looking for a proxy Void Ray rush that is gonna arrive close. This is a gateway, actually, being put down. Okay, Marine is running further than I thought it would, coming down, but that is as far as it will go. So well placed gateway there by Mana, deciding exactly where BYUN will get lazy and just kind of decide, you know what, probably not here. It's a bit awkward having the Marine suddenly pop up from the other side. The probe there. I'm not sure if it could have gotten away, but running into the Marine, definitely not the best way to do it. Trying to get some damage onto him. Fair enough, fair enough. Is it with the Marines as well that they need 3 shots? Unless if they get 1 tapped by the probe, then you need 2 shots. Might be that the reason why he actually went for the attack instead. I think he would not be able to get away regardless, so he would just make life a little bit easier for him later down the line. So getting another gateway here, going up to 3 in total before he puts down any sort of tech, so definitely would assume we're going to see some sort of a pressure coming out of Mana with these gateway forces. BYUN not entirely prepared, right? We don't have a defensive bunker, and it looks like he's just going to go for a Widowmine drop. Now, the Widowmine drop might translate okay into a defense as well. As long as the Widowmine gets one of these units, right? That is the main thing. If he does, fantastic. If he doesn't, well, that could be trouble. That could be quite a bit of trouble. As these Marines, no stim pack, no combat shield, no bunker. Nothing much, actually. And in comes Mana right from the front. And, I mean, Widowmine is about to finish up. BYUN does manage to get everything up on top of the high ground without Mana chasing him. So, Mana now kind of stuck behind the supply depots. Did not want to commit up that ramp too quickly. Still a couple of SCVs loose, apparently, so let's get those. Mana could, of course, use those shades to grant vision on the high ground and start attacking those supply depots. Guess he's already attacking the supply depots, so... There we go, starts doing it now. Siege tank does kind of make an end to this situation. As Mana, he's just going to be able to, well, move backwards a couple of times, of course, but eventually the natural base is going to be secured again. Ooh, wait, that's a lot of adepts straight into that front door. He does finish the shade as well, straight in that siege tank line of fire still. Just trying to get on top of the Marines. Not really a fight he can take. The Stalker also getting quite a bit of damage. And yeah, I'm a bit surprised how Mana kind of controlled his units there in the base of BYUN. The stock now also a little bit disorientated where he wants to go. Maybe a couple of the nerfs coming into Mana's play here. Definitely not as clean or crisp as I would imagine from a man of this caliber. But let's see what it did manage to do for him, right? So it did manage to get 4 SCVs. It did delay the mining for an enormous amount of time, right? That command center was just hanging over here for quite a long while. The downside is that his gateway forces, they kind of got struck down. He doesn't have that many on the board right now. Let's see how many, in fact, he has in total. 9 Stalkers. He's doing a really good job so far with the Blink Stalkers kind of shooting down some Marines from afar. Kiting away. Comes in here with quite the nice snipe on the siege tanks, but the Marines, yeah, the Marines will be cleaned up as well, actually. Well done. Don't get too many of these Stalkers. Alright, so yeah, Mana with a nice blink coming on forwards. Make sure that that third base is very secure. And honestly, I would put Mana in a really good spot here. At least, well, I wouldn't put him on a good spot. I would say he's in a pretty good spot. He's actually quite aggressively blinking forwards here, thinking he can finish off the game. I'm not entirely certain if we're that far along. But he did get the siege tank, and he's getting some of those Marines. He's losing too many Stalkers, though, for my taste of things. But let's get out of there. The SCVs. Gets one more. We'll try to get the escape blink. There we are. Raven harassment here. Looks like that has not been able to do too much. Three kills in total. Oh, it's another one. Bit too early back at the mining facility. Also, BYUN just kind of paying attention, of course, retargeting that auto turret away from the Stalker onto a probe. Realizing that is something I can still kill, so might as well. Sentries being added in now at the 7-minute mark. I mean, we're going to have a little bit of force field. Not that much, of course, because, well, they are kind of slow with the sentry production here. Because of all the harassment that we've seen from Mana so far. Third base for BYUN is almost ready to start heading out as well. He's doing a great job with the auto turrets right now. He's going to setting up one at a time. 7 kills at this moment. Shield battery should kind of put an end to that harassment, though. Or at least make it a lot more difficult to get the probe killed. Is it just me, or is the sound of the thing a little bit low? I'm not sure. Maybe it's just my own volume. There we go. That's better. Alright. Mana. Getting the Templar archives. Wonder if we're gonna see the beefy ball of Archon Zealots here, mostly, or... He's planning to put some Storm into the mix. Would be an okay time for Storm, I suppose. Although we already... Ghost Academy is already set up. Enhanced Shockwaves as well coming in. Mana's economy has been booming, though. Look at that. 71 workers. Still, the meal's kicking through a couple of minutes back. But overall, Mana has been able to put a pretty nice cap on BYUN when it comes to resources, right? He has been able to kind of stay on top of him. Getting him a small niche advantage in this upcoming scenario where inevitably they are going to fight. I would assume they would. Stalkers here, quite slow with the blink away. A lot of them go down, and that's quite the bit of meat shield. It's no longer available now. Do have more Shield batteries as well, of course. Is this the fight that you're looking for as mana? I'm not sure if it is. That's so much bio. And without Storm ready yet. It is about to be. There we are. Okay. Shield battery overcharge bought him some time. And now, with the Storm, he should be able to deal with this quite nicely. As long as BYUN is not too spread out. It's pretty darn close on top of himself right now. With a mine. Ooh, doesn't get it. Getting kind of close, though. Alright, Templar coming in as, you know what, BYUN also sending in his own reinforcements. Having some of those ghosts coming in. Very useful. In this situation in particular. Also a very short-lived moment there for Mana, where he did have the Storm at no ghost available for BYUN, of course. Nice drop into the main base. Is that something that Mana is capable of to respond to? Not that quickly. He's going to lose both of his forges here. Quite a few probes as well. And the medevacs, they are still on the loose. Getting themselves into a nice corner right there. A run by of Zealots crashing into a couple of siege tanks and the SCVs right now. Unsiege should be able to get rid of that. Oh, a lot of High Templar and the shield battery all getting EMP'd and shut down quite quickly. While Prism tries to come in, it does not look like it's armed with any type of High Templar to perform a storm. There we go, does manage to get them in there to avoid the EMP. Don't want them to be too easy of a target, of course. Quite the terrifying army that BYUN is setting up right now. And we are nearing 30 army supply advantage for BYUN. And Mana's army, I mean, to be fair, it's not really one that you would say could do well on a lower supply, right? It is still mostly just relying on the Starkers and the Zealots here. A couple of Immortals and Archon. And then a few Storms. I guess it does kind of come down to the Storms and the EMPs who will be able to get the better spellcasting going. That's already quite a few Storms not going to be casted right there. The War Prism is across the map, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a quick look. Yep, that is with the High Templar right there. Yeah, Mana just kind of taps out instantly. GG is called, and BYUN takes game number 1. Alright, well, BYUN. I mean, he wasn't at the best start, right? Didn't have the best start overall, but he managed to get the game kind of going afterwards. Set himself up with the defense as well quite nicely. Went across the map. Suddenly Mana slaps him down again, and at that moment I thought, like, alright, well, it looks like Mana's still in control of this game, but that was just an illusion, it seems. BYUN still just ekes it out and makes it look easy. Makes it look easy. There we go. Makes it looks. He makes it looks. Alright. Introducing, in the top left side, a red Protoss player. Representing Team Liquid, Mr. Mana. His opponent, in the bottom right side, he's blue, and he's a Terran. Representing Shopify Rebellion, BYUN. Alright, Mana this time around being a bit more aggressive with his approach. Looks like it will be a cannon rush coming in here. Oh my. Hope that BYUN will be able to get a good scout on this. Otherwise that could still be a little bit of trouble. Although the Terran, they can of course still just float away. Which could of course always save him in a sense. As long as he doesn't fall too far behind. Right, probe just kind of comes in there at a pretty regular time. There's a third probe also coming in, and that should definitely give it away here. As long as BYUN is paying attention. Probably not really anticipating another probe to be coming. Okay, there we are. I mean, he sees the cannons now going up as well. Oh, Mana! Okay, does get the gateway block. One cannon still quite badly exposed. I'm surprised not 4 of the SCVs are able to get the damage on top of. I think he should be able to get 4 of them on top of there. Not managing though, and I think that is gonna mean that both of those turrets are gonna go up. Both of those cannons. Now it becomes a battle for high ground vision control here for BYUN. He needs to try and get rid of the probes, and he needs to get. Oh, he lost the Marine. That's nasty. Alright, trying to just evacuate here with all the SCVs that he can. Could still lift up with some, well, with this one. Right, could just plop him into the command center and then float him over. Fairly certain you can do that as it's floating as well, right? It's not gonna go for it just quite yet. Yeah, so 6 SCVs. That gives quite the deficit here. In favor for Mana. He's going to be able to get another supply depot here as well as kind of have a contain on this ramp area, of course. It will be difficult for these initial Marines to get to the low grounds and start defending the area here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there's a Zealot now. Yeah. Alright, well, good luck trying to deal with this now, BYUN. You do not have your Marines on the low grounds, and they are not going to be able to get there anytime soon. Nice positioning there from Mana with his Zealot. Great use of the abuse, and BYUN taps out. He got cheesed, and he knows it. GG is gold. Mana takes game number 2, ties up the series here with quite the cheeky play. Is it going to be enough for game number 3 to also go into his favor? We don't know. We don't know what he has up his sleeve still, of course. But man, Mana the Maniac coming in with a cannon rush right there. And does manage to beat BYUN with it. So hey, if it works, make it work, right? Even if it is supposed to be the best micro machine in the world, who cares? Who cares? Just do an early game build that comes down to whether or not your opponent miscontrols. And you know what? BYUN did. He lost the first Marine. He didn't quite manage to get the SCVs well stacked up onto the first cannon there. He lost a lot of SCVs as he was trying to transfer. Didn't quite manage to get a few into the orbital or the command center, of course. Just float him over. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, anyway. Top left side. Red Protoss. Team Liquid. Mana. What's that? That is a gateway. Alright. So no cannon rush this time around. Might be a little bit more difficult to pull off on this map as well, to be fair. Anyway. Bottom right side. We have the blue Terran player fighting for Shopify Rebellion. Mr. BYUN. Okay. Looks like a pretty standard opening here for both players. BYUN even gonna do a scout, so shows how committed to the standard he is right now. will have the Warp Prism approach. See how BYUN is preparing for this so far. We don't have a... Oh, we do have an engineering bay, actually. Yeah, there we go. The +1 is coming up. Let's see if he makes the safety missile turrets, right? Just in case. I guess he's not a robo, so he's not expecting the... he's not expecting the void rays or like oracles or anything like that, but... DT is definitely still a possibility. He's making a missile turret in his natural, which is a good sign. He does have the 2 marauders there, so that area should be safe. Let's see, does he have energy for a scan? He does. He should be pretty well prepared for this. And chases off the Warp Prism. Not even using the scan. Well done. Right, Lesser Terran may have just used the scan there, tried to get the DT, and then the Warp Prism just picks it up, leaves. Gets a little bit of value that way. BYUN, he's just shooting down the Warp Prism. He knows if he gets the Warp Prism away and then scans, then, well, either he's going to get the Warp Prism or the Warp Prism is just going to have to let the DT go. So, forcing both of these parties away simultaneously. Quite nice. Little target fire thing there. What else is happening on Mr. Mana's side of the field? That DT rush not really getting anything done, unfortunately. The Archon follow-up. It's only one of them, so it's taking him quite a long time to even kill an SCV. The Stimmed Bio can quite rapidly respond to those types of threats, so it seemed like BYUN didn't really struggle with that. Three more gateways, Immortals also, and a third base now finishing up for Mana. And BYUN, what is BYUN really up to? Still just on the 3 barracks. Most likely going to start pushing out with these 2 medevacs now under control as well. There we are. Off he goes. He got the Observer, so Mana not entirely certain what is coming his way or in what capacity, of course. But I would assume he has a pretty good idea, seeing how he did manage to scout the production facilities of BYUN. He should have a reasonable understanding of what the army that BYUN could throw at him should be. Now, these 2 medevacs, they are looking to get a bit of a flank going. One single DT does get warped in. Looks like Mana was already thinking about this. The distraction of Mr. BYUN not quite working out entirely. Might be able to use the distraction force now, though, to push in if he does want to give that a go. Not too much here. I think he should be able to get that gun down rather quickly. But the reinforcements is coming in already as well. So yeah, BYUN just assembling all his forces together, even sending a couple more boys across. Finds the Observer. Good eye there. Well spotted. Third base for BYUN as he is coming up the ramp here. Oh, blasted. We have BYUN just slamming into the robot. The robot does get taken out rather quickly. The gateway forces don't stand that much of a chance against the bio. The Archon immediately gets taken out as well. There should be, with the shield battery overcharge, I assume enough here to kind of keep things going for Mana, but it's just not stopping. The train is still going and the shield battery is unpowered. It's looking like it's just a little bit too much. BYUN does manage to take game number 3 as well in a rather decisive fashion. Just kind of